If you think betrayal hurts, wait until you hear what happened when my own husband and his mother tried to turn me into their silent slave, and destiny answered in a way that no one expected. Stay till the end because this story is going to shake your heart. And before we begin, please subscribe to this channel for more powerful life-changing stories. My husband married me with a smile that looked warm on the surface but carried a hidden shadow beneath, and his mother welcomed me with soft words that felt sweet yet somehow hollow and cold. I entered that home thinking I would build a family, but the first night I understood that I was not brought there for love. I was brought there for labor. Every morning his mother would wake me before sunrise and give orders without mercy, while my husband pretended not to hear me cry in the kitchen as if my pain was just noise in the air. I tried to survive through patience, believing maybe one day they would see my worth, but instead the cruelty grew like a storm, and soon my life became nothing but endless chores, sleepless nights, and whispered insults that clung to my skin like dust. One day they told me I must travel with them to visit a relative in another city, a trip I hoped would bring fresh air. But as we reached the station, the real truth cracked open like thunder. My husband walked ahead with his mother whispering something I could not fully hear, and suddenly they boarded the train, leaving me behind with my bag still in my hands. The whistle roared, the wheels moved, and I stood frozen as the train pulled away, carrying them far from me. And for a moment I felt abandoned, like a stray shadow left on the platform. The wind wrapped around me, and I realized they had planned this to punish me, to make me feel helpless, to break my spirit. But fate has its own rhythm, and the moment I turned to leave, a strange old woman approached me with eyes that glowed like forgotten fire. She told me she had been watching me for a long time, and that the world had a hidden path reserved for those whose hearts are wounded yet still beating. She invited me to follow her, and for reasons I could not explain, my steps obeyed as if pulled by unseen threads. She led me to a small house near the edge of the station, a place filled with photographs of women I had never seen, each face carrying a story of pain and survival. She told me these were women who had been thrown away by the people they trusted, but each had risen again stronger than the storm that tried to crush them. I looked at her, wondering why she was showing me all this, and she smiled, a slow, knowing smile shaped by mysteries I could not yet understand. She said my suffering was not the end, it was only the beginning, and that the same train which left without me would soon return with the truth powerful enough to turn my whole life upside down. My breath trembled because I felt something shifting. The old woman revealed her name as Sarah, and said she once carried the same wounds I now held inside my chest, but she had learned secrets of the world that most people never touch. She told me that when a heart breaks deeply, it opens a hidden gate where strength sleeps, waiting to be awakened. She offered to help me reclaim the life stolen from me, and though the fear inside me trembled, my courage rose like a spark, refusing to die. Sarah taught me how to stand, how to speak, and how to see the truth behind faces that pretend to shine. And as the days passed, I felt myself changing, growing wiser, sharper, stronger, a storm being shaped quietly in the dark. One evening, Sarah handed me a letter written in the trembling handwriting of my husband. He said he regretted everything, that he searched for me, that he wanted forgiveness and wanted me home. But I sensed something false in his words, so Sarah suggested we travel back without informing them, to witness the truth hidden behind closed doors. When we returned to my old home, I saw through the window my husband laughing with his mother, telling her he was glad I was gone because now the house had peace, and now they could find someone new, someone easier, someone who would not question their commands. Hearing this, my heart shattered once more, but this time the pieces did not fall to the ground. They rose like sharp Wings cutting away every last thread of weakness. Sarah whispered that this moment was the final test, and then she guided me to walk inside the house silently. My husband froze when he saw me, his face drained of color like a candle melting. In fear, his mother stumbled back, clutching her shawl as if protecting herself from a storm they never expected. I stood calm, not seeking revenge through fire or rage, but through truth, the truth of leaving them forever with the weight of their own deeds. I told them I was done being their servant. I was done being their shadow. I walked out with a steady heart, and as I stepped outside, something miraculous happened. The train that once left me behind arrived at the station nearby, its whistle echoing through the air like a sign from destiny, reminding me that I was no longer the abandoned girl on the platform. I was someone reborn. The wind carried my hair like wings, and I felt Sarah's hand on my shoulder telling me my story had just begun. I boarded the train, this time by my own choice, and as it moved forward, I realized that sometimes the greatest revenge is not destroying those who hurt you, but rising so high that they can never